Well, if you go online, everybody's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse threatening to sue President Biden. And they're all lining up their arguments as to why that's absurd and how dare he attack our president. Well, we're going to actually listen to what Kyle said, and then we're going to hear a lawyer chime in. And with that, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. We're going to get a dumb argument out, and we're going to get to make fun of a lawyer. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dredd to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dredd Show.
So this is a channel owned by Adrienne Lawrence, and she is a lawyer based out of Los Angeles, I believe. At any rate, she's going to listen to what Kyle says and then completely misinterpret it. So let's listen.
What did you make of the President of the United States calling you a white supremacist?
Mr. President, if I could say one thing to you, I would urge you to go back and watch the trial and understand the facts before you make a statement.
Oh, he attacks the president so viciously. He says, Mr. President, what an insult. And then he comes in and says, I would urge you to watch the trial. Oh my gosh, he's pushing the president around. What a jerk. Okay, we're now going to listen to Adrienne Lawrence. She's going to chime in here and tell us all about Kyle's comments and whether he stands any chance of suing Joe Biden.
Now that he's been acquitted of murder, Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse. Gee, I wonder where she stands on Kyle's guilt or innocence. Never mind the fact that Kyle was acquitted. This is the lawyer talking. She doesn't seem to really appreciate when the jury has spoken.
Apparently is suggesting that he may go ahead and sue everybody.
Sue everybody? Oh, okay. Well, let's see what he says.
Including President Joe Biden.
Including Joe Biden.
Welcome into TYT's Overruled. I'm legal analyst Adrienne Lawrence. During his first TV interview Monday night on Fox News, Rittenhouse sat down with Tucker Carlson. And in that conversation, the 18-year-old indicated that he may sue Biden and others for calling him a white supremacist.
Help make this better by holding some of these liars to account.
Some of these liars. Not everyone. Some of these liars.
Do you plan to do that?
I have really good lawyers who are taking care of that right now. So I'm hoping one day there will be accountability for their actions that they did.
He doesn't threaten to sue anybody. This is called a stock response. This has been rehearsed with the lawyers because they know that Tucker is going to probably ask him, who are you going to sue? And they don't want that cat out of the bag. For obvious reasons. If you tell the world that you're going to sue, let's say the Milwaukee Sentinel Journal, which, by the way, he probably should, the Milwaukee Sentinel Journal will start to activate campaigns to defend that. And you don't want that happening. So you're always going to keep that very close to the vest. And so the lawyers do not, under any circumstances, want him telling people who he plans to sue, or if he even plans on suing anyone. It's a stock response. The lawyer should have caught that. Any experienced lawyer would recognize that this has been rehearsed, and it's designed to be vague.
Okay, so you're intent on you're not going to let that go.
Like I said, really good lawyers are handling that.
Yeah.
Again, Tucker says you're not willing to let that go. Tucker's trying to pry out of him whether he's going to sue anyone, and Kyle doesn't bite on it. Again, the lawyers have told him, if Tucker goes in this direction, tell him this. But at no point does Kyle threaten to sue anyone.
Let's go ahead and break this down.
Yeah, let's break this down. Let's use your keen legal analysis on this.
First, here's the purported statement by Biden that Rittenhouse is taking issue with. There's no other way to put it. The President of the United States refused to disavow white supremacists on the debate stage last night.
And what white supremacist was
So where does Rittenhouse come in? Well, check out the video that was attached.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha?
Who's that? Why, that's Kyle Rittenhouse. And this is about white supremacy. And so we have a video about white supremacy, and a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse has been inserted into it. I have a feeling that they're calling Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist. At least most of the people I know would probably make that connection.
And as we've seen in Portland,
Sure,
are you
I'm willing
prepared to
do
specifically
that, but
do it?
I would say almost everything I see is from the left.
You'll notice in that video that there was nothing calling Rittenhouse a white supremacist.
Yeah, they didn't come out and say Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist, but any lawyer will tell you that's not necessarily required in a civil case. You don't have to have the actual person make such a statement. There can be insinuations that would convince a jury that somebody has been wronged.
There was just the picture of Rittenhouse there with his gun in Kenosha, and it was affixed to essentially what would be Biden's tweet. Second, although Biden tweeted this before his presidency and thus can't abuse that Trump presidential immunity card, it still may not be very good for Rittenhouse to bring this lawsuit of defamation, because I don't think his claim would necessarily succeed for a number of reasons.
Well, you said this lawsuit. What lawsuit? Kyle Rittenhouse hasn't said he's going to be suing anybody.
But I'll just talk about one here. Truth is a complete defense to defamation. Rittenhouse has been pictured making hand gestures tied to white supremacists.
And for which he has said he had no idea what the hand symbol meant. Furthermore, it's not a hand symbol that's necessarily tied to white supremacy.
Also, not to mention, he's been, nestling up to Tucker Carlson?
No, Tucker Carlson. Oh my God. That's like nestling up to the Ku Klux Klan or Adolf Hitler.
What a sweet kid. I think that comes through loud and clear. Playing hearts in jail.
Associating with those who many believe to be white supremacists is generally somewhat of a sign that you too may be a white supremacist.
Maybe, but maybe not. What a terrible legal argument.
But then again, that's just my opinion. And third, even though Rittenhouse may not have a winning case, as it seems on the surface, we have to bear in mind where he is. He's right now on a rehabilitation campaign, and he's really riding this high of coming off of his acquittal for killing those two men in Kenosha. You know what? Given that, we have to realize that Rittenhouse may want more support from the right.
Because he ain't going to get it from the left.
And from Trumpers, and thus suing Biden could be a worthwhile PR tactic for him, win or lose. Also, you want to bear in mind that Wisconsin only requires a civil verdict of 5/6 of jurors. That means 5 out of 6 jurors must agree with you in order to win in a civil case. So Rittenhouse is not going to need that unanimous verdict that he just got in his criminal trial. So what do you think? Will Rittenhouse sue Biden for alleged defamation? And if so, will Rittenhouse be successful?
He hasn't said he's going to be suing anybody. So in summary, Kyle Rittenhouse has not threatened to sue anyone, certainly not the president. I don't think his chances would be very good against Biden anyway.